Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live show where we are going to discuss the latest episode of, I don't know, like, not a football club. At this moment in time, it's actually insane. It's actually insane because I might have jinxed it because I think last week or something, I said, I think it was last week, going into this international break. Um, I said I don't think I think it's going to be an extremely boring international break, and we will just get the usual um, transfer news, and it's more clickbait, it's more guessing, it's more to fill up the time until club football is actually back, and it seems like every international break something happens, and it gets it gets weirder with every single international break that comes by, because the things are happening at the club are one, they're crazy. Like if you think about it, they're crazy, but they're not even surprising anymore. Like they're not even surprising. I have so many questions. I don't even know which direction I need to go. But we will go step by step. It's not going to be a very long one because my voice is not going to hold it for very long. Um, so let's get straight into it. Obviously, the Fagioli news broke today, and in a nutshell, he is being investigated because he was gambling on an illegal website. We don't know on what he was gambling. We don't know, the type of, I don't know, the type of gambling. I guess was he gambling? Excuse me, on football, his team, Serie A, other teams? Was he doing something completely different that had nothing to do with football? At this moment in time, we don't know. What we do know, and going off what his lawyer said, they didn't deny anything. He was gambling on an illegal website. I have so many things to to, to say, or like, and I have so many questions. Like, first off, and maybe I'm ignorant. I don't even know how you get on an illegal gambling site. Like I'm being that serious. I have actually no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know how you do it. I don't even know why you would do it. Maybe somebody can explain to me, like odds, winning odds better. I have no idea. Could be. But when you're in a position, the position he is in, as I'm going to say high profile football player because he plays for a big club, and you think, or you find the need within yourself that you need to take such a risk to get involved with this. And even if he wasn't gambling, if I don't want to hear the excuses, by the way. Like if it comes out that, oh, it was his account but he wasn't, like, I don't want to hear it. The fact of the matter is that you are in this situation now, and going off his lawyer, they didn't deny anything. They just said they're very, like, Fagioli is very open. He's working with whatever investigations and he's focused on the game. The fact of the matter that you got into the situation is idiotic. Like, it is what it is. You need to be an idiot because you are living life. You're privileged in a privileged situation. For the lifestyle you have, the money you make, and all those things. Like actually doing, I'm not gonna call it a job. Because it's a hobby that you're getting paid for a hobby, and you're extremely good in that hobby, obviously, but you're getting paid for a hobby, and you take such risks. It's idiotic. It's embarrassing. I don't know what, like, I don't care if it's Fagioli, if it's, like I said, Vlahovic, if it's Danilo, who I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't care who you are. The fact of the matter is you're in this situation, and it's a shambles. It's an absolute shambles for him on a personal level to be in this situation. I don't want to hear excuses. I don't want to hear excuses because you are involved. I don't know which manner. We will know. We will learn soon. But apparently, the investigation has been ongoing from August, and the club kind of knew, and he knew that something was brewing up. So it's crazy. Like if you don't support the club, and you see these things, you're like, oh my god. But when you support the club, you know how bad it is that when the news broke, I read it. I read the article, I tweeted it out, and I just went on with my day. Now, if this happened, let's say 4 years back, I would be so confused. I would be thinking about it all day, and I'm like, what the hell is happening? But the fact that I read it and I was like, okay, move on with my day, is very sad. Like, I'm gonna admit, because I'm expecting these things happening at the club now, and I do need to ask questions about the club. Like, what is the issue at the club? What is the mindset? What is the mentality within the club? Because first you have Pogba doing stuff obviously not allowed to do without informing the club, by the way, and then you have Fagioli doing these type of things. Probably a player nobody was expecting him to do any of those things. If we're being completely honest, I don't think anyone was like, "Oh yeah, if that was gonna happen, it was gonna be Fagioli." I don't think anyone was. Excuse me. I don't think anyone was thinking that when the news came out, or like if that news comes out and everybody can get a gas. No, I think nobody's saying Fagioli, but the fact of the matter is that it's Fagioli, it's crazy, it's embarrassing for the club as well, because just give us a break. Like we have opened this channel. I'm gonna say like 2.5 years ago. It's probably 2.5 years ago. I'm gonna say a good full 2 years. Okay, maybe I'm pushing it, but we have been talking on this channel about things we shouldn't be talking about as fans, financial situations, uh, lawsuits, and all those things. Like, it's time to just like I want to be a football fan back again. Like, I just want to watch a game, talk about players, talking about performances. I don't want to talk about this crap, but it's out there, it's happening, and it's ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, because this is actually worse than the Pogba one, in my opinion, because this is like, maybe it's not worse, but like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm so confused because I don't get it. Like, I don't even get how. Like, how? Like, how do you get into, what? I'm making a couple of millions. I don't know how many's on, maybe 1.5. I don't know. I have a good life. You know what is missing? Me taking a risk and somehow be linked to an illegal gambling site. You know how crazy that is. Like, I don't even know how that conversation went with whoever convinced him, or like he himself. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but this is just bad. Like, it's bad. It's bad, and he will just get a fine, and that's that. No, the club should suspend them as well, because this is ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous. It could be like, depending on what it is. Like, if he was gambling on an illegal website and he was playing poker, I'm just saying something. I don't know if he can get suspended by the FIG. Like, I don't know. Like, if it's football and it's on a legal website, well, you're screwed, because I'm not sure in Italy if you can even bet on football in general. I know some leagues you can play bets on football, but not obviously on your team and the competition you're playing in. I don't know what the situation is at Italy, but the club should punish him, because this is crazy. Like, this is not brush it aside, because this is mad. Like, you have players in your club because they represent the club, and I'm not saying the club as a good representation of himself. The last couple of years, they're trying to clean up image, go into a new direction. You cannot have these things happening. You just can't. You absolutely cannot have these things happening. And I will give it attention, because it needs attention, because it's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely, it's like Ivan Toney. Why on earth would you do that? You know the rules. It's not Gazzetta, it's La Stampa, and his lawyers came out and they denied absolutely nothing. They just said Fagioli is working, he's cooperative. If you listen to good sources, like, the club knows something is up. This is real. Like, this is not, because if it was fake, Fagioli would have came out. The club would have came out and said, stop this. This is ridiculous. It's from La Stampa, and it's not even from Gazzetta. This is real. This is ridiculous, and it should be talked about, because you cannot brush this to the side, because it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like I said, high-profile player, privileged position, you do this crap. or whatever. Like, even if he didn't place the bet, if it's your account or whatever, you have been involved in some capacity. You shouldn't be. Like, your name should not even pop up. It should not even pop up. Not even by mistake. It should not be being popping up in this situation. That's my issue. Um, Again, it's too early to say he's gonna get suspended. He's gonna get a fine. Like, we don't know. At this moment in time, we don't know. We just need to wait. But it's unnecessary attention to the club again. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for Allegri. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, what I think about Allegri, fine, on a coaching level. But man, the club doing random stuff, points deducted. Pogba doing random stuff, he's gone. Fagioli doing this, like, at one point, I'm like, just give this guy a break, because I cannot recall anything with any club to this magnitude that you go from points deducted to a player taking doping, basically, and another player playing illegal gambling. Like, that's absolutely crazy. Like, that's a reason for me, if I were a coach, to say, you know what, goodbye. I'm not doing this anymore, because my mental health will be going backwards. My reputation, because I'm dealing with stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with football. I will get the questions again. It's mad. Like, it's absolutely mad what's happening at the club. It's absolutely crazy. But let's see how that will develop in the last couple of days. I have so many questions still. So I'm just gonna wait before I say certain things. But it's the fact that he's being involved or like being mentioned is already bad enough, in my opinion. You shouldn't. Um, let's move on to what it could mean, because Romeo Agresti was on Juventus, and he was talking, and he said, like, the club was already very inclined to make certain deals in January, and now he said, like, if the Fagioli situation actually gets confirmed in terms of he will get suspended, whatever, and Guido, like the director of Tuttosport, who is a good source, actually it's a very good one, is that the club is actually fearful that he will get suspended. Um, then Romeo said the club is most definitely going to sign a player, which makes sense, because if you lose two players, even if I did include Pogba, they did. But if you're going to miss Pogba for good, and maybe Fagioli for time, you need to make a signing in January, obviously, because we are short in midfield. How stupid do you have to be to do this illegal betting after what happened with players like Ivan Toney? Yeah, that's my point. And like I said, even if he didn't place the bet or whatever, you're in the mix, so something is up. His lawyers didn't deny it. The fact of the matter that your name is being mentioned and it's in contention or whatever you want to call it is already crazy. For the person you have, the high profile player you are, the money you're on, it's just I cannot explain it. Even if he tries me, I couldn't believe it. Whatever explanation he gives me, I won't believe it, because it would sound like why. I would still say why. But it is what it is. In January, I was saying we need to see, because if you lose Pogba, and even if you lose Fagioli for a couple of months, you need help in January, because Rabiot, like, I want to say you cannot play him 38 games, 90 minutes, but with his fitness level and Allegri's love for him, you could. But you cannot run Locatelli into the ground. Miretti is still struggling to find his groove, and McKennie is not a long-term solution at all. So you need something, but it cannot be something quick, like a quick fix, but you spend a lot of money on it. Like, it needs to be thoughtful. It needs to be, with a purpose to build a better team. It cannot be reactionary, It needs to be a signing that you're going to build on. That's not a Højbjerg and all those things. What about Hans? I'll keep saying it. I have no idea what Hans Nicolucci is doing at the club. I have absolutely no idea. And everybody in the chat can try to explain why he stayed. I don't get it. I don't get why he stayed. After the injuries he personally, if I was him, I was like, I'm gone, on loan. Maybe I will return one day. I need to play for my own good. He's not even warming up at times. So I don't get it. I don't think Hans is gonna be an answer. I can be completely wrong, but I don't think that's what the club is looking for. To be honest, I think he's gone, and I think same for Ealing Junior, who will also leave because why would he stay in January? Like he needs to play. Kostic is the main guy. Cambiaso is next. It's pointless for Junior. It feels sad. He's not gonna sign that new deal. Like I will be absolutely stunned if he does. Excuse me. I think at January you look to move him on or sell. That's what the club is gonna do. But um, what I was saying about that midfield, you need to have an idea. You need to have a plan. You cannot sign Højbjerg or whatever. You cannot sign a player like Thomas Partey because you need to think about the future of this club. That's the most important thing, And if is Rabiot gonna stay, past next summer? But again, Pogba out, Fagioli potentially out. We don't know. You need to make a signing. Like, there's no ifs and buts. You just need. And I'm not even saying that because you don't rate Miretti or you don't rate McKennie. There will be injuries and we will be short of players, excuse me. So you're gonna need to sign midfielders in January if that's the situation. And the media is gonna feed off it. You were gonna hear a lot of rumors, unrealistic rumors that were gonna make you cry, sad. But you're gonna hear these rumors because it's easy. Um, it's easy to sell at this moment in time, especially if, let's say, Fagioli actually gets suspended for, I don't know, a period of time, half a season, I don't know. Then yes, these rumors are gonna heat up because it only makes sense that the club is looking for a player and will bring in a player. It's actually 1+1 is 2. So they're gonna have a field day, the media, and it's just that for us to understand, this is true, this is not true, this is absolutely not gonna happen, whatever. It's up to us. But like 1 international break actually without any bullshit. That's a rare thing at this moment. Even last season we had it, with suspensions and all those things. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, but it's actually happening at the club. It's actually happening, and it's like I said, when I watch games, and I'm not even hyped to watch games. I just know like 10 minutes before kickoff, I tune in, or 5 minutes. Usually, years back, I was up for it. I was sitting, in front of the TV half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever you want to call it. Now it's like, let's get it over with, basically. And that's basically the same with the news. Just let's get it over with. Let's see how we'll end. Tell us what will happen with Fagioli, and we move on. It is. That's the situation I'm in now, or like that's the mindset I have because you know, I'm tired. I just want to talk about football, and we can't. Even the last summer, like we didn't talk about transfers. We talked about the most random stuff to fill up time because we're not a normal football club at this moment in time. We are absolutely not, because these things in the like in 1 year span, not even 1 year span, let's say a year, the entire board got sacked. We got deducted points. We got kicked out of Europe. Pogba took doping. Let's say how it is. And Fagioli is on an illegal gambling website. It's unbelievable. It's insane, but that's who we are as a club now. Bringing Thuram, yeah, but I don't think we have that money in January until they actually most definitely know we will have Champions League. I don't think we're going to do that, and that's why I'm saying very interesting to see what's going to happen in January. Like, are we going to quote unquote waste money? Are we going to spend a lot of money? I don't know, but it's going to be interesting, especially if Fagioli indeed gets suspended. But like I said, it's going to be a 20-minute live because I'm at my limit for my voice for today. I'm sorry for that. I will try to be back live tomorrow because it's not my off day tomorrow. So I will try to do a live tomorrow. And maybe we have some more updates. I don't really think so. But maybe we will have some updates and we can have, paint a better picture of actually what is the situation at this moment in time. What do you think of... Wait, what? What do you think of yesterday's show and some missing legends? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game, but it also made me feel sad because the drop-off is insane. We don't have any of those caliber of players potentially in the squad. Like, maybe, but it's reaching, you know. And that game showed me that I'm I have every right to sit back after every game, and even if we win and we say this is not good enough, we need to improve because I've seen those players. Like those are real quality star players, and when we win a game, I'll take it, but I will say what I think, and I don't see progress. I don't see enough quality and whatever. I don't see enough development. That game yesterday was fun, but also a bit, depressing at times. Um, by January, probably have 3, 4 more players getting a ban. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Julian called it a couple of weeks ago. He said, you know what, maybe Fagioli will get nabbed for gambling. And he was right. We need Manu Kone. He's better than Thuram and cheaper. He costs 25. Um, I don't know. I've not watched many of him, so you might be right. He could be better. I don't know, but he is cheaper, most definitely. Um, hot take. Hot take. But Tevez is a bigger Juve legend than Dybala. Oh, I'm not gonna get to that in this show. Next league game will be fun. You are a Milanista, right, Dino? I don't know. I think it's gonna be more fun for you. But we will preview that game next week. We're not gonna do it this week, but we will build up to the Milan game. Probably the first big game of the season. We will do that all next week because it's going to be extremely interesting selection wise. Is Chiesa fit? Is Vlahovic fit? What about Miretti now? Because Fagioli going to play? Like, we don't know. Like, we absolutely do not know at this moment in time. But that's something for next week. I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks everybody who tuned in. Like if you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Check out the daily video or the podcast me and Julian put out. Do that. Like those videos. I'll be back live tomorrow. I will be live on Friday as well, and I will be not live on Saturday. This is my free day. But on Saturday, Julian will drop an interesting video on. He will look at the stats compared to other teams in Serie A this far, and he told me he had some interesting things. So, excuse me. He had some interesting things he found out. I got caught off guard by a comment. So tune in for Saturday because that's gonna drop on Saturday. The preview is gonna drop on Sunday. It's gonna pre-recorded one on Sunday evening, match reaction, and then. No, I'm absolutely lying. I'm absolutely lying. I thought it was match week. I'm so confused. I thought it was match week. It's not match week. So Saturday, it's gonna be the stat video from Julian, and Sunday I will be live again. I got a complete mix-up. Time for me to leave. We saw a lot of gambling apps advertising boardings while Juve matches. Then why Fagioli is being suspected. I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, to be honest, because you can advertise gambling things, but he was on an illegal betting site, and as a player, you're not even allowed to bet on your own sport. Not that's the case. We don't know, but just to put that out there. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys